Hello, greetings to everyone. This is the Tonic Man broadcasting live once again. And do we have a story for you tonight, folks? Wowee, you just sit back, buckle up. We really have an outstanding, long-term ambassador of health who's going to relate her story. But first, we have breaking news. Yes, breaking news. You know, all you new folks on the call, we call all our ambassadors of health because they do the job of an ambassador. And tonight, Ambassador Lenny is on the mission. He's at someone's house at the moment speaking to them about the life-saving elixir called JC Tonic. So we're going to break right to Lenny and let him tell us what's going on. Lenny?
Thank you, Tonic Man. Yes, sometimes it's nice to visit those who are asking questions about JC Tonic, and Davy and Mariah. Of course, Davy tried JC Tonic a couple years ago, and, you know, sometimes life throws some curveballs at you, and you get off, and now he is asking me questions because he'd like to get back on JC Tonic. And not only him, but his wife. And why is that? I asked him, well, what made you now want to get back on JC Tonic or Mariah to try it? Well, they realized that, you know, we're in times where if you don't keep your immune system strong and your body at top peak, well, you could be susceptible to the pandemic that we're facing right now. And I hope everyone who's on the call tonight, because we're not here to, like, scare you into drinking JC Tonic, but if something's good and it's been around since the Tonic Man's father, Carl Urex, put this on the market since 1943 and it's still in existence now, that has to tell you so much about it. It works. It flat out works. And I've been good friends to Davy and Mariah, and they see how I am. They know I'm pretty healthy for my age. They know I'm active. So, you know, that reflects. So if you're an example of someone who drinks JC Tonic, and even though in the past they might have tried it or they got off, or people are like, oh, I don't know if I want to get on this. But if they see you, you're a living testimonial. And they know my story before I got on JC Tonic, and they see me now for all these years. So now that leads them back. Maybe we should get on JC Tonic. And I'm at their house right now. We're discussing some of the pros and cons, of course, and I just have to be patient when they're asking questions, because some of these questions, of course, I answered a couple of years ago, and some of the questions are still the same. So what my recommendation is, if you're an ambassador of health on this call, just be patient, be there, help them. I love being in the health crusade. So I can do this many times without feeling that I'm being inconvened, because sometimes when someone's health is on the line, I'll take the time to go visit. So Tonic Man, that's where I'm at right now. They're going to listen to Ruthie's testimonial, because I told them how, you know, just hear the stories of people drinking the tonic, and don't take me as the full example because they feel I'm just biased. So let's hear somebody else's testimonial, and then you make that decision. But they're pretty excited about it. They want to start on it, and that's what I'm doing. I'm in the mission.
Okay, Lenny. Well, I appreciate you jumping in with that breaking news. I'm glad you're on the mission. And stand by, everybody. We will be bringing our pal Ruthie on momentarily. Lenny, thanks a lot, and all the very best to your pals. And tell them that you're not the only one drinking. I'm drinking it too, and have been for over 70 years. I'm still here.
They're listening to this call, so I'll be on for a while, but I'll be answering their questions after Ruthie gives her story.
Perfect.
Which is a wonderful story. So I'm excited about it.
Okay,
and
Lenny,
they will be too.
See you later.
All right.
So there we are, folks. That is, in essence, what an ambassador of health does. And a lot of people have been asking, why ambassador? Why do you call them that? And what does it do? And what do you mean? And all the rest of it. This is just such a great example that I don't have to explain. Lenny is on a mission. Our mission, it's a health crusade. We want to save a life. We want to make a life better. Anybody, doesn't matter. And in this country, you don't have to worry. There's 320 million of the 330 million who are sick. So you have plenty of people to go and practice your ambassadorship. And you will end up doing things as Lenny did. He had these folks drinking tonic a few years ago and they stopped. Why did they stop? Well, for a bunch of reasons. And that's going to happen to you and folks that you introduce it to as well. It happens to me. I talked to a fellow a few days ago who stopped drinking, and I realized that. He said, well, I was feeling so good. I said, well, great. Maybe you don't need any more. However, remember, the body keeps breaking down as we get older, and we're always susceptible to something lurking. And in these days, it's this virus that is more than lurking. So as Lenny said, we are not here saying that drinking the tonic is going to avoid you getting the virus, but it may if your immune system is strong. And that's what all the scientists have said from the beginning. If you have a strong immune system, you can beat it. And as you know by all the statistics, the folks that don't beat it or have a bad time of it, they have all kinds of compromising other illnesses. Their immune systems are shot. So they have a big problem fighting back. But if you have a strong immune system, that's a small problem. You might have a little fight on your hands, but not one that you cannot win. So boost the dose of the tonic, build your immune system. Remember, go to the website, read what Dr. Mowry said about the JC Tonic. He said, it's about the best immune system booster builder that he's ever come across. Well, it is. As Lenny said, that's why we're here since 1943, keeping people in better health or making them feel better or even getting them better. So listen to all these stories. And of course, tonight is a story of stories. This lady is 81 now, and I'm not going to take all the story away from her, but you saw her before and after picture on our email that we sent out this week. And I remember meeting Ruthie when she was in bad shape, and the change was rather miraculous. And she has been a great ambassador of health for all these years. So I'm not, as I said, going to take her story. I want her to come on and tell it all. So, Ruthie, it's all yours.
Hello there, everyone. My name is Ruthie Neal, and I know you probably heard of me once, long time ago. I've been on the JC Tonic now for 20 years. 20 years. And I have never missed an ounce, or maybe 2 ounces a day in 20 years. When I first started taking the JC Tonic, that picture looked like, I said, Auntie, I'm glad you like me because I would have covered that up. I was looking like that picture, in pain, feeling just as bad as I look. A lot of pain, aches, ready to give up. After being with my husband for 50-some years during that time, we were together 63 years, I was about to run him away from home. So I started taking the JC Tonic.
Why were you running him away from home?
Because I was having hot flashes. He was getting on my nerve, and I was already in pain. And once I took my first ounce, I just pulled the Pimmerans down the drain because I was having hot flashes, and he was getting on my nerve, and the flashes was getting on my nerve. But after start taking this tonic, all my pains went away. In 1 month, I am still pain-free. Pain-free, Anthony. My doctors tell me that I am they told me a 50-year-old body. I said, no, could you just pump it up to 60? Because I am 81 years young. I call it 81 years young. I took the COVID test twice. I passed it. No COVID. I went back to school 12 years ago and became a CNA, a licensed CNA, an independent licensed contractor CNA. And I wanted to help people because with the tonic and with being an ambassador of health, I could help people with their health even more. And I joined the agency, and I tell you, 20 years, I have never missed a day from helping other clients. I just retired 3 months ago from working, sometimes 12 hours a day. You know, nurses work long shifts. My agency said, oh, we're going to miss you. And then my clients would say, well, just clone Ruthie. The agency said, we only have one Miss Ruthie. Well, you clone her. They said, because if I can't have Miss Ruthie, I don't want anyone else. I had a new doctor. My doctor, every 6 months I go, she told me that I was the healthiest patient that she had. And you know how when you look all around on the wall and see all those folders, the sick people, the patients and folders and everything? I got sick. And then I thought, not really sick, but to tell me you the healthiest person, that was a blessing. That was a blessing for me. And I just said, thank you, Jesus. And no matter what doctor I go to, I take my tonic with me. And she says, wow, all my vitals, I take no medication. I'm not on any medication at all. All my vitals are good. And the doctor said, I have never seen anybody this healthy, especially at my age. My children are so funny. I fell, and this picture that you see, that was a 2 weeks fall after I had fallen running from a dog, okay? I rushed home. I grabbed the tonic, washed my face. I grabbed the tonic, and I rubbed it on my face. My grandson was here. He called my daughter. They rushed me to the hospital. I said, I don't need to go. But my face was a mess. I had a big old egg and everything. This is 2 weeks after that. So the doctor said to me after they took the MRIs and everything, he says, my God, ma'am. He said, you are in good shape. He said, because a woman 81 years old, I said, young. He said, you should have broke a hip, an arm, or something. He said, but you are strong. You're in good shape. No damage, no broken bones or anything. So I was like, okay, well, thank you, Jesus. So now at my complex, I'm upstairs. The next week, Patrice came after you heard of my sister Patrice. She came the next week after she heard I had failed. That baby come to take care of her sister. And I'm still moving like a bumblebee. You know that. I have all that energy to boys. So now here in my complex, my kids put a tracker. Have you ever heard of your kids putting a tracker on you to try to keep up with you? Anthony, my kids put a tracker on my phone to try to find out where I were. So to keep up with me. I said, look, guys, I got this. What you mean, Nana? I says, I drank JC Tonic. I have a lot of energy. I know karate, and I know Karaza.
Hey, everybody listening tonight, I've been hearing this lady talk about stuff like this for 20 years. I used to go to meetings. She had a special room in her house set up just to do presentations for JC Tonic. And I went to some of those and did a presentation. She'd have the place full and the food. And I mean, this lady was doing the ambassadorship stuff nonstop. And I don't know how many people in all these years you saved their lives or made their lives less miserable. That's for sure, Ruthie.
Yes, sir. And then another thing, they don't even want me to walk. Okay, I get all dressed up, and I told them, I said, look, these little old ladies taking their trash out. I can take my trash. So I walk fast. You already know me. You know I'm like a bullet. And I said, look, I could be taking my trash and back in the house by the time the ladies get to the corner. So one day I was taking my trash, and this man was looking at me so hard he had a wreck. He had another car. So my kids told me, you need to stay in the house. You need to stay in the house. What were you wearing? I said, a pair of those skinny pants that the women wear. They wanted to lock me up. I said, hey.
And he's looking at you and crashes his car.
Yeah. I told my kids, I'm not going to get kidnapped. I'm good. Let me be me. I got this. So my grandson even moved in the complex. I said, look, guys, and then I told him what Papa said, being married 63 years, to one person is awesome. Don't get me wrong. I loved it because you know he was there. And we dated 3 years, so that's 66 years with one person. So I told them, I said, look, Poppy told me to get a young man. And they just fell out, no, man, you don't need another man. I said, with the tonic, I can handle Mr. Right. Then it might be Mr. Wrong. So they feel like they wanted to tie me up in the house. But I'm not letting them because I truly know. Listen, everyone, don't get on the tonic and get off it. Stay on it. Stay on it because right now I'm 81 years. I call it 81 years young because I'm still waiting to feel what an old person feel like. And I'm not exaggerating. I'm still waiting to see what an old person really feel like.
Well, I tell you one thing, Ruthie, and everybody, I was invited to Ruthie's 80th birthday party, and you should see the video. I mean, boy, she just went like a top. I mean, nonstop dancing, and holy cow, there's no way that anybody would ever give you 80 or 81, Ruthie.
Nobody believe it. And even with my voice, I can sing anytime without even being hoarse or I just feel great. I really feel great. And I really, really thank you and your father.
Well, Ruthie, you certainly are welcome. You've been a dear friend, and I'm so happy that you are in such great shape. And folks, this is not the only person that has had this kind of a life because of drinking the JC Tonic on a regular basis. There are literally everybody who stays on it, drinks it for 5, 10, 20 years. Our friend Lenny, who was just on, he's in the same category. He's 20 years younger than Ruthie, but he still was half dead when we first met him, and 20 years later, he's still like a man 20 years younger than he really is. And everybody, so anybody listening to this call, don't make the mistake of not drinking. And you don't have to drink a lot to do the maintenance. 1 ounce a day for the duration. Let me tell you, when you finally go to the pine box, you'll have a big smile on your face, you know.
Right. And then another thing, Anthony, even with the tonic and being a health provider, you get to share it with the families. It's even good rubbing it. It's good. I wash my face in it in a minute. It's good inside and out, you know.
Yeah, and we have somebody the other day on the call said they put it in their hair after the shampoo, and it's good for the hair. It's just really, folks, as Lenny said earlier on the call, it flat out works.
And it's a whole body tonic. It's exactly what it says. It's a whole body tonic. And, you know, I didn't have any hair when you first met me.
That's right.
You know, my hair grew, my nails grew, and I'm just telling you, I love it, y'all. Stay on it. Just put it in your budget.
Well, Ruthie, that's the best advice you've given, and your story really is something for people to think on, and we do hope they do. So I really appreciate you coming to the call. I know you've got big plans to, I know you're retired, but you're not retired, and folks who drink JC Tonic never seem to stop talking about it. So thank you very much for being on the call and sharing with everybody. These are the kind of stories that people need to hear. You are 81, you're on no medication, you look and feel more than 20 years younger, and you act like it, and your brain is like it, and your humor is like younger. Everything about you is, unless we knew, there was no way we could ever guess or think that you'd be in your 80s. That's for sure.
I'll be 82 in June, and nobody believes it.
Well, that's right. And the guy who crashed his car probably wouldn't have believed it either. You better watch it with the trash now from now on.
Oh, I know.
Okay, Ruthie, I appreciate you. Thank you, darling.
Thank you so much, y'all. Stay on it, please.
Yep, stay on it, everybody. So there we are, folks. This is really another great, great call. It'll be emailed to you shortly. And those of you who did not look at last week's email yet, go and have a look. There's a before and after picture of Ruthie, which this is one of those pictures that really are worth 1,000 words. You know, they say a photo is worth 1,000 words. This one, you will never believe that it's the same woman. And she was 20 years younger, and she looked 20 years older. She looked older. She looked 80 then, and she looks younger now. It's just amazing. So that turnaround can happen for you, your folks, your grandfolks, anybody. And it can maintain those of you who are in pretty good shape and want to stay in good shape. It's really great for youngsters. It's great for your complexion. It's great for your brain. It's great for your homework if you're going to school. It's great for sports if you're practicing any kind of sports. Whatever it is, you'll have more energy. You'll do better in your discipline of sports, and you'll be happier. It changes people's minds. People smile more. I think half of America needs this tonic just to start smiling again. So it just, as Ruthie said, it's a whole body approach, and it really does bring the whole body back to balance, and that's the key. So please, those of you drinking it, share with everybody else. As we say here, pay it forward. Don't keep the secret to yourself. Tell somebody. And you know what? If they tell you you're a nut, so what? I've had thousands of people call me a nut, but then I've had tens of thousands who drank it. So it doesn't matter. They may think you're a nut, but as they get more ill, they may be more apt to listen to you and give it a shot. When they do, they too will have the same experience. So thank you very, very much once again for being on the call. These are really...
You're welcome.
These calls are for you to pass around to help other people. So don't be shy and do it. Ruthie, thanks, darling. We'll see you.
Thank you. You're so welcome, Anthony. And thank you.
Good night, everybody, and we'll see you next Sunday. Don't forget, take an ounce and feel the bounce. Bye for now.
Urac Classic Whole Body Tonic is a dietary supplement, not a drug. Therefore, it is useful to affect the structure and or function of your body in various ways. But it is not intended to and will not cure, mitigate, treat, or prevent any disease. Individual testimonials may not be everyone's experience and do not constitute scientific evidence. Urac Corporation does not make any drug or treatment claims for its product.